Let us introduce you to a company that's creating the time to give back, literally. Cincinnati Watch Company is a small shop that designs and builds watches inspired by our local history. They also collaborate with prominent Cincinnati institutions. Allie has that story.
The mechanics of time, combined with creative representation of Cincinnati history, along with the act of giving, is the foundation of what makes Cincinnati Watch Company tick.
So Cincinnati Watch Company is a microbrand that was formed in 2018. We started originally with our first limited edition Union Terminal watch. A portion of the sale of that watch benefited the Cincinnati Museum Center. And since that date, every watch we have ever released has benefited a community organization in some way. And then since then, we took on the addition of Jordan Ficklin, a very accomplished watchmaker, and it makes us kind of unique in the world of the microbrand watch community.
It's unique because to date, there are roughly only 3,500 watchmakers in the U.S., and Jordan is one of them, building and repairing on the daily.
You know, watches have been around for 300 years. Wristwatches have been around for 100 years. And so it's easy to think that everything's been done before. And I think for us, it's just, we want to incorporate our personality and the things that we like into the designs, right? I think Rick started the company because he wanted to build a watch that he would like, that met his needs, right? And so you don't just have one need, right? You want to match your watch with your outfit or your mood or what you're going to be doing that day. You know, if you're going to be out doing something rugged, you want a rugged watch. If you're going to be in the boardroom, you want a nice classy watch. And so as we keep doing things, we want to meet those different needs with our personality, or sometimes the personality of the charity we're working with.
This small team of 3 have crafted roughly a dozen designs, benefiting institutions such as the Cincinnati Museum Center, Union Terminal, Freestore Foodbank, and their most recent design benefiting the Tri-State Warbird Museum. It's a limited edition P40 mechanical, mimicking the aircraft's timeless color. So you'll want to look closely, because each watch, with every hand, number, and dial, has a deeper meaning.
This is very much a passion for me as a watch collector. So I'm getting so much enjoyment out of just these designs and seeing them, seeing them make people happy. But the idea that these designs and this effort that we're putting into these pieces are also supporting important community organizations, that's really the mission of the company.
All right, we're going to get a chance now to dig a little deeper with Allie. So let's start, Allie, with the process. How does that go, and how long does it take to get a watch?
Yeah, good question. So one of the things that I think is interesting is that they're a really small team. There's 3 of them, and they are actually assembling these in a basement. So we're really talking about a small team, but producing a lot. But from beginning to end, from conception to production to shipping, it takes about roughly a year. And Jordan has had a tremendous amount of experience assembling a wide range of watches, as well as repairing them. But when he's specifically assembling a watch in which they've designed, he kind of goes through an assembly line, an assembly process, and he can knock out roughly probably 20 watches in a day. But Clyde, I figured that you were going to like the representation of the Warbird Museum with the P40.
Well.
Your thoughts on that one?
Yep, it is. It absolutely is. If that's for sale cheap, I'd love it.
Yeah, well, that's actually a really, that's another good.
Oh, no, Allie, I was going to say, speaking of cheap, what are the prices of these watches?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was taking that, because, when you think of a Rolex, you can think of sometimes, thousands of dollars, 6-figure watches. And a big goal and a big mission for them was to make sure that they're keeping these watches affordable, but still having that high-end craftsman and really polished work and look. So you can get these, for example, their Cincinnatus, their Field Watch V2 is $350 right now, and they will be coming out with this P40M, this select edition and limited edition coming up here in the future, but they're only making a really, really small quantity. So they go quickly, but they typically are very affordable, and they wanted to make sure that they were able to keep it at a price point that people can afford and just really love and appreciate watches.
Well, and so that's what I'm curious about. I mean, I want these guys to be successful. I want them to keep doing it, and so I gather they're able to make ends meet doing it like this, right?
Yeah, so what's awesome is Jordan, this is Jordan's full-time, but for Rick and Mark, I believe is his other name, the other partner, they have full-time jobs outside of this, and they would love to have the goal of one day making and sourcing the entire watch from here in Cincinnati. We are a long way off because so much is sourced overseas, whether it's in Switzerland or Japan or Germany, wherever it is. You know, they are definitely able to do well for themselves, and it's worth it because Jordan is doing this full time. But this isn't a full time for all of them.
All right.
Hey, quickly, Allie, how do they choose the nonprofits or the organizations that they put on the watches?
It's organizations that they definitely like to resonate with, and that has a good history element that they can chime the design back into.
Okay, right quick, how do people connect with them if they want to do that?
Check them out at CincinnatiWatch.com or follow them on Facebook or Instagram. The social channels are always the best way to keep up to date on what's coming next, especially with this new release of the P40M. That will be a hot ticket item.
Oh, yes. All right, Allie, love the story. Thanks so much.